welcome to Toffee Bluecast match reaction to yesterday. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. Everton stay up. Now, I said I'd do it. If we stay up, I said I'd get all the Bluecasters on the channel, all the subscribers on, and I've sent you all links. So if you want to come on, feel free to come on. I'll try and get loads if you want to give all of our match reaction. So hit that link and it'll put you in the room below, and I'll add you on the channel, and we'll all say what we thought of the game and put loads of reaction on this screen to this massive game that's just gone ahead. So first of all, I'll get the second dose on Paul. See how you do. How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. I'm a lot calmer than I was yesterday.
Oh, what a stress. What a nightmare.
Good day though, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was. Now you're thinking back on it, but going through that experience, it was absolutely wild, wasn't it? It was stress. Then you're pumped to win. Then you're stressed, and mixed emotions. But it wasn't nice at the time, but it was nice to win. The outcome was amazing, wasn't it?
There was a bit of anxiety being thrown around.
Definitely from me. You're just looking around at the game and you're looking at everyone, and everyone's just checking the scores. And then you're seeing the scores come in. It was just, to say it was amazing was like, it was amazing, but it was crazy at the same time. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was like surviving a car crash is basically what it felt like. You know what I mean? It's been really bad, but you're so glad to get out of it the right way.
It's a good way to sum it up. It does feel like that, but it's zapped every part. You said the same. It zapped all of our energy, every part of energy that we've got.
Slept today, I tell you.
Some game for the little one. I've just seen the Blues say, so yes, well, it's a first game and I risked it. It could have destroyed her, that being a first game, and put her off Everton for life. But she was the lucky charm, and it managed to do well for her, thanks to the Blues.
She did well. She did well.
She wasn't scared at all. Oh, we've got people coming on now, so I'm going to get Luke on. School of Science, here he is.
Hello there. How's it going?
All good, Luke. How are you feeling?
Me? Relieved. I feel very relieved just for the fact that was one of the most stressful seasons I've had to deal with in my life. I mean, granted, we have had seasons very similar to that, but this one, it just didn't feel like we had anything in the tank for us to sort of, stay up. I mean, I was being optimistic, and sometimes I was saying, I don't see us going down. I don't see us going down at this point in time. But as time sort of ticked on and you saw the likes of Leicester and Leeds, you're getting like the odd little point here, and then you're thinking, actually, this might be the time where we could actually sink. And, if any of you guys have ever actually been on the channel and had a look at what I put on there, the comment section's always, it's going to be the best stadium in the championship and all that bollocks. So to be able to turn around to them and say, actually, it's not the best stadium in the championship. It's going to be the best stadium in English football. Get it right.
Yeah,
it's nice to be able to say that.
We've had to take a lot of stick, haven't we? I got messages yesterday saying happy relegation day when I was coming down on the journey on the way, and it was just absolutely crazy. I'm going to get everyone on. I'm going to get everything Everton on now. This is crazy because everyone's allowed on, and everything Everton going to get you on as well.
Whoa!
Hey!
We did it.
Love it.
Right.
Absolutely love it. It was good to stay positive. He's got the beers out already, celebrating. Love it.
I've been celebrating all weekend.
I
said a few things I shouldn't have last night on Twitter, but hey.
I seen your messages to me. You were saying I'm absolutely bricking it yesterday. And I didn't get to message back, but because I was just literally busy yesterday. But how did you feel yesterday during the game?
Mate, I was so nervous. I was screaming the house down like when we scored. But my stomach was in knots all day. And I just, till I watched your video, Walk and Talk, it just settled me down a bit, But before that, it was a mess.
That means a lot, though, because I was just trying to help Everton fans. Yeah. It might have been a stupid thing to do, but I thought I'm going to try anything to. I thought if I put out how I'm feeling, it might relate to a lot and calm them down, and that's why I did the Walk and Talk. And it's good that it worked on you. And I was scared. I got scared though. I did everything. I did the Walk and Talk, and I was scared the night before. And then obviously the journey took me 3 hours to get to there, and I felt sick the whole journey. All I was thinking about driving was like, oh my God, this is it. This This is our destiny. And I felt sick, and it didn't feel good. And when I got to see you, Paul, and I got to the game, I didn't look good, did I?
We were both a little bit green, to be fair.
Yeah. But you're lucky to be there. I tell you, the atmosphere was buzzing, wasn't it?
Oh, it was worth the risk. I could have been the curse that sent them down, and everyone ripped me and said we went down because of you. But luckily I was there, and it felt like Eliana's first game kept us up, so she's got a good legacy now, hasn't she? Straight away.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Get a season ticket for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to now, ain't I? 3 hours every weekend. Absolutely amazing to have you on. I'm gonna get Paul Caswell on as well. Now I'm gonna try and just get everyone on. It's gonna be a wild one, but Bluecasters are on, and I love it. I absolutely love you all on the channel. The fact you're actually on live is amazing. So Paul Caswell, Mr. Positive, I'm gonna get him on as well. Here we go.
Evening, chaps. We all right?
How we doing, Paul Caswell? You all right?
Good. Gutted I couldn't go to Goodison yesterday.
I didn't say, was you there? I remember you saying work stopped you, didn't it? You've been to all the games and work stopped you this one.
So, but I went to Palace game last game. I think you could hear the relief when the goal went in, couldn't you?
Oh,
it was rippled the back of the net. And I think it was quite fitting for Decore as well, because he was out the team when he nearly went to Fulham for only 3.5 million. Then he's coming and scored 5-6 goals for us.
Go on, Paul, go on that one. I'll keep this structured. Keep everyone going.
Yeah, he's had a massive influence on him. What a goal!
He was the best. He was the best player, though. The only player that me and Paul said when we was watching that felt like wasn't pulling the weight was Onana and Gray, because we were shouting them saying, "Come on!" It's funny because when you see them live, you start to realise the players that don't put the effort in. And I don't get to see them live all the time, but I can see why some people have different views when you're live, because Onana just wasn't putting the shift in, and neither was Gray. But everybody else, Decore, the main one leading the front line, you just think to yourself, when Decore's running that much to turn over the ball back, it makes Onana look like he isn't doing nothing because Decore's doing it. But Decore was absolutely class. But me and Paul was like in the game saying, do you know when there was chances that we was missing and it wasn't going in, you start to think like, this ain't going to be our day. This ain't. And then we just found out at half time. By the way, Paul Caswell, every Everton fan has got the phone out telling us the scores. Was it like that for you, Luke? Did they all have the phones out saying the score?
We had one lad in front of us, actually. He was sitting just ahead of me, and every now and then I'd just see his phone literally just it'd pop up, and he'd be having a look through the scores, and I'm like that. Going like that, having a little look. And I saw the West Ham one, and I went,
yeah, we were the same with the guy next to us with his transistor as well, wasn't he?
We goes, put it away. When someone's looking at it, I goes, put it away. And then someone said to me, Leicester has scored. And I knew once Leicester had scored at home, we needed to win. And it got to the point where it's half time. I don't know what all you lot are thinking. Like, we've got to win at half time to stay up. And that's a big ask because we wasn't looking like we was going to 100% score, was we?
To be fair,
I don't know, because we had some chances, didn't we? I think their goalkeeper did a few worldies, in fairness.
I knew Leicester would win. I knew it. That's why I knew we had to go win. That's why I was so nervous.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah, we had to win. Like, when it's still 0-0 at half time, it's like they were 1-0 up. I was like, come on, please. I made my daughter cry when I screamed and Decore scored. Well, it was worth it. Worth her tears.
I think I made half my office cry when I screamed.
I know. I've got to say, when the goal went in, I hugged Paul, I hugged Eliana, I hugged his daughter, and we did a 4-way hug. And I looked up to the sky. I'm not even joking. I looked up to the sky and I felt like bursting out crying. And I was honestly, because it was just pure emotion. And the moment the goal went in, Paul, the moment the goal went in, the stadium went boom, because we kept saying throughout the game, like, the fans are sitting there, but we had nothing to sing for, nothing to get hold of, because it was hard to get behind the players because there was nothing there. And then all of a sudden you wanted a goal or a tackle, and then the goal went in and the stadium was rocking. Then fireworks started. Someone's letting fireworks
in the day, you can see them.
Oh, Absolutely amazing. Luke, what did you think when the fireworks went off?
To be honest, I didn't see the fireworks myself. I heard them though. I could hear them banging. But I'll tell you what, it does get like that. It goes. I think no matter the situation that we're in, when we score, it does get emotional in there, hearing the cheering and everything, because you're just surrounded by fellow Evertonians all feeling the same thing at once. I mean, anytime we score, I've literally got guys around me who are proper embracing me, hugging me, I'm hugging them. We're all basically as one massive family at that point. It's just one brief moment of complete unity where we're all celebrating.
Yeah, that's why we're in it, isn't it? For moments like that.
Them moments are absolutely priceless.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, me and Dan were sort of talking before the game about where the noise would come from, because obviously Gladys Street's the one to bring the noise, but it just felt. I mean, I don't know how it felt in Gladys Street, but it just felt from where we were, top corner, main stand, over the park end, that it was just in unison. Just the noise was just in unison going up.
Yeah, there was. Did you hear that the Bournemouth fans, Paul Castle and Everton, they was all singing 1-0 to Leicester, and they was all singing 1-0 to Leicester. And it was crazy how Bournemouth they wanted us down, because even I don't know. I bet you've seen it watching it. O'Neill got the ball quick and he says, "Come on!" and he was arguing with Dyche. They really wanted to beat us and knock us down.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of teams in the Premier League don't like how long Everton have been in there. They look at it as a big scalp. I think for some reason, even the neutrals would like Everton down as a big scalp. Don't know why.
I think it shakes up the status quo quite a bit. We're one of the original teams of not just like the Premier League, of like the Football League. We've been pretty much ever present when it comes to the modern day football. So seeing one of the old men going down is a massive shake up. They're saying this is the new age of football now. The big teams are going down, the small teams are coming up. It shakes everything up. That's one of the things I feel about it anyway.
You're dead right. Dead right. You can tell on Twitter messages and everything. Just I think it's seen a few things about who do you think will go down, or who do you want to go down, and most of the messages were about us. So they're quite happy. They were quite happy for Leeds and Leicester to stay up just as long as we went down.
But we said at the start of the game when we got there, do you know where you look at the side of the pitch? There was like media everywhere. There was every single media that there could be down the whole stretch of the pitch, and I thought they think we're going down here. They think we're going down, and I thought they was getting ready for us going down. Hey, Everton! Love it.
Shy.
Oh, bless her.
You're on the telly, Daddy.
You're famous. Oh, get the little Evertonian. These are the generations that are going to come through. Get the little Evertonians involved.
Yeah.
I bet you was jumping around with her when we scored that goal.
Well, she was crying though. I made her cry. So, don't like loud noises.
Can't help it though, can you? Got to let it out.
Gotta let it out. I've had a week of stress with it.
There's some good news. Apparently, Jared Branthwaite's going to be offered a new contract after a successful PSV loan.
Yeah.
I mean, to tell you the truth, with Mina going, I think Tarkowski, Cozy, and Branthwaite all in that back line would be a great little combo. Having us like the three at the back with the two wing backs, having Mikolenko and Patterson as wing backs, that's perfect for what we play.
It was a back five yesterday, wasn't it? First half hour at least was a back five.
What did you, here's one for you. I'll pass it on to Paul, then to Luke, then to the other Paul, then to Everton. What did you think first of Paul? What did you think of the lineup?
I don't know. It was a surprise. The back five. James Garner. I think someone might have been the Blues and mentioned James Garner as a potential right back when we did the pre-match. He was brilliant, by the way. It was fantastic all the way through. And we'd said that a lot of the attacks could sort of start from that kind of position, because we'd done it with Coleman before, just putting the passes down in the channels. And Garner did that quite well. So when it came as a back five, I wasn't adverse to it. I wasn't disappointed at all. I was glad Mopé didn't play, obviously. And I was quite happy to not go gung-ho and try and get that goal in the first 10 minutes. We waited it out and defended well and created the better chances, didn't we?
I think that's actually is one of the biggest difference for us, that game versus pretty much the previous games in the season. When we've started other games, we've went in like a bull at a gate, and we've tried within the first 30 minutes to break a team down and just try and rip that net open. It's in this game we didn't do that. We held back and we made them work for it. We made them come to us. We made them do all the work, and then second half, that's mainly the reason why it was pretty much 0-0 for the first half, because we held back on them. We just said, all right, come at us. We know you like to play the counter-offensive, so you come at us for a change. You're gonna do the work for the start, and then we're gonna work you in the second half, and let's see how well you play. That was what I think it was. Also, Jamie said, "If you got a sleeper to get involved in this chat, it's got to be with Toffee Bluecast, and he's in his unicorn outfit."
I think I sent Jamie the link as well. I've got loads of you on. I can't get used to this. This is amazing because obviously you've all been a big part of the channel, and to get you all on the screen together, it's a cracking little setup. This is. I'll just make sure I've sent him the link. Paul Caswell, was you shocked on the lineup? Because I couldn't believe that we all wanted him to play Cody instead of Keane, and we all talked about Garner playing wing back. Was you shocked?
I knew there was going to be a bit of a surprise just because we got 4 full-backs out. I knew we were going to go 3 at the back with McNeil as left wing-back. It was just who's going to fill that right wing-back role. I was surprised it was Garner, but, well, he was shown as playing there. But I know Decore did play well and scored the winning goal, but I actually thought Garner was man of the match yesterday. Really, really well. He broke everything up, passing really direct and crisp. Wasn't afraid to take on a player, even though the pressure was on. And I think he makes a lot of right decisions as well, Garner, which is a type of midfield player we've not had for a few seasons, bar obviously Rodriguez, but he's been there and done it at the highest levels for a young kid who's starting out in the industry. He's someone who seems to make the right pass, right decisions, knows when to do an easy pass and when to do a long one. That's the biggest surprise I found with him. And especially yesterday, for all the tension, just to do like them little dinks around the player, just to take him out the game and stuff. It's just little things like that. I think that's a lot of calmness for a young lad on a relegation battle day.
Yeah, and they didn't leave him isolated at all, did they? Garner Gay was quite close to him, actually, winning the ball back quite a lot, and Mina was next to him, so they helped him out a lot, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought there was going to be a surprise, but I didn't think it'd be Garner. Just to answer your question.
No, it was we both agreed with you there. We picked up that he played really well when he was one of the ones that was more solid on the ball, because sometimes we just gave the ball back to him, but he was one that did keep the ball, James Garner. And he that position, he was fantastic. It makes you interested whether he's going to play there next season. It's nice to know he can cover that position, but he was fantastic. Everything Everton, what did you think of the lineup? I know you was worried. What did you think?
I was just gutted Stanley Mills wasn't starting. But yeah, there's nothing else we could play really, was it? It had to be 3-5-2. Had no fit full back, so I was happy to see Cody back there. Like, I hope we sign him.
That's an interesting one because that's just come on. All the stuff now because the season's finished. I don't even want to read it yet. I want to have a little holiday in my head because.
Yeah.
But all the stuff like I've seen 5-6 strikers come out straight away that we're apparently interested in. Then I've seen like you say the Cody contract.
Yeah.
They're going to put that out there straight away, but it's going to be interesting to see what's done on that. I think we need to take our time on signings, don't we? Because we can't get it wrong, can we? Because they've got to be the right fit. That's the big problem with Everton, the right fit. Paul, go on, sorry. Go for it.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, I think moving forward, I was mentioning it to someone on I can't remember the tweet. I don't know. We've tried the expensive signings and the fancy managers and the fancy football, and it hasn't worked. And I think Dyche alluded to it. We need to get back to what the core of Everton is. We're a team of grafters. And it's probably about buying some cheap young players who've got a point to prove. And if we do sell them for double the price that we bought them and pay off that stadium like Arsenal did when they first moved to the Emirates, then so be it. But I'd rather clap a team off who've lost 2-0 but fought for absolutely everything than a team that played 1-0 and half of them couldn't be bothered making an effort anyway.
We had decent scouting when we had the likes of Lescott come in and Kale came in, and we bought younger, didn't we, with DCL from Sheffield United, John Stones from Barnsley. So, getting that sharp eye again is really important moving forward, without a doubt.
Look at Brighton, how much they've spent in the summer, and look how well they've done. I think the most expensive player was about 13, 14 million on it. Look how well they've done.
Brentford as well, similar model.
Yeah. I looked around. We're trying to put loads of points here so we can all feed off them and get everyone involved. I looked around, and there was at one point, do you know when we'd scored, when they added 12 minutes, by the way, was they added 10 minutes on, but they played 12. We had stopwatches in the crowd to see what it was, and it felt like it was another 45 minutes. That did. It was the longest time in my life because I could see the ball going in the back of the net, and then Leicester State. You could just see it happening, and you was absolutely bricking it. And that just, and there was a guy next to us, wanted the ball. He walked down the stairs. He goes, "I can't do it. I'm gonna have to go in. I'm gonna have to go down the stairs and go in the beer part." He says, "I can't do it." And it was so, I couldn't even look at. It's one of them. Do you know when you're watching the game and you want to switch the phone off and not look just to see the result come in? Yeah. That's what it felt like, and it was too much to take. And we all we wasn't celebrating staying up. I don't think it was we were celebrating staying up, but we wasn't celebrating the situation. I think we've all had enough. That's what I'm basically trying to say. I think we've all had enough. And what I want to say, I'll pass this on again, Paul, Luke, Paul Castle, and Everton. Jamie will be in soon. What do you think's got to happen now? I'll start with you, Fozzie. What do you think's got to happen now? Because we sang after. I know they ran on the pitch, but they got them off. I thought the police was disgusting, by the way, because they were dragging the players off. One guy cable tied and smashed his head on the concrete. The police did. Yeah. The police was proper brutal because when we seen the players after the game, when we was walking to the car, me and Paul did, and when we tried to get a signature for her daughters, a woman went to get, and the police smashed her out the way and said, "Don't go near the cars." And it was really brutal. And there was one report, I couldn't believe it. Even on the pitch invasion, they were brutal. They said anyone that goes on, they'll take away the season ticket or they could get arrested. But they still went on. Yeah. But they eventually got them off. And then we all stayed in our seats for a very long time. And we all sang Sack the Board and stuff like that. So it wasn't like stay up and we're all happy and we think everything's okay. We did sing Sack the Board at the end. Yeah. But like I say, I'll go to you, Paul, now. What do you think's got to happen now? Because it's not right. We've just seen Osman come out and say it's not right. We've seen Stubbs come out and say it's not right. What's got to happen?
I think the initial part is Mishiri accepting that he's got to change the board. That's the first thing. Whoever it is, he changes them to. You need people who aren't just going to pick things based off what their mates say. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like that. And Mishiri's guilty as well. He's absolutely guilty. So what we need to try and do is we need to try and form a new higher tier of management at the club. And if that includes the owner and it change into a takeover, then so be it. But because we do need money, but we need it spent wisely. And we haven't done that over the last, arguably, decade, to be honest. We haven't been sensible with it. We changed managers too much. Stuff like in the PR and the press for the club is just ridiculous. I mean, we're expecting, and it happened every Friday before we had one of our matches, one of our crucial matches, there'd be another news report about this thing or that thing, or Ken Wright's letter about this or his response about that. Friday was all about Sean Dyche isn't good enough for us, so here is a list of managers who are suddenly going to be our manager. And that's, the day, 2 days before arguably our most crucial game that we've had in the last however many years. you know. So I think it needs a change of board. It needs ideally a change of owner, and the people who come in to have a structured plan and view about how we're going to move forward. And so we don't have to go through another one like that, because this is my third or fourth, if you include in Palace. But yeah,
It's killing us off.
And the skin is now dying after those four. You know?
Everything Everton's not complimented you on since this last game. Maybe it's going.
I know, yeah.
Luke, what do you think?
Go back
What
to
do
the
you,
fountain of youth.
Luke, what do you think on that one? Luke, what?
Yeah, so in regards to that, I do think the club needs a massive overhaul. That being the squads as well as the board of directors. That board that currently runs this team is an absolute joke. They're trying to kill off the club, and they think that they're doing the right thing about it. Unfortunately, I don't think so myself. I think MSP needs to hurry up, sign the paperwork, get in there, take over, and say, right, Denise, Bill, Sharpie, look, appreciate what you guys have been doing, but unfortunately, we just don't think you're the right fit for what the club and its new standard's going to be. So we were going to force your resignation, and we're going to put professionals into this because we are a sports conglomerate. We know the right people for this job. And then from there, we need to rebuild the squad. Now, if we do that through selling players, then so be it, because we have got about 3 or 4 really good players there that could be absolutely massive pieces of profit. And those being, I'd probably say Pickford being one of them, Calvert-Lewin being one that we could probably get about 30 to 35 million for. Onana, he's a young prospect that everyone thinks is going to be the next bloody Ronaldo or whatever. He's one of them who apparently they're going to be willing to pay 70 million for. So I think from there, we get that in, get that revenue in. You could probably get about 150 to 160 for the players that we sell off. And from there, we just let Sean Dyche get the players that he wants, because he isn't your standard manager who says, okay, I know how to play a certain style of football. He's a very, very intelligent sort of manager in the sense that he knows the sort of players that fit his style of football. And from there, if we're able to let him get them players in, I think next season it'll be a comfortable mid-table finish. I don't expect us to be going straight up and going for, Champions League, Europa League or Europa Conference. I expect us to go for mid-table, maybe good run the Carabao, get to the quarterfinals or semi-finals, and a good run in the FA Cup, getting, again, quarterfinals, semi-finals, even the final. Now, granted, that's going to be difficult because, obviously, bloody Moneyball in Man City, if we get them early on, that's pretty much us done and dusted. But as a whole, it just needs to be a massive restructure, and I think they've got the right amount of time in the summer now to do so. And I just hope they don't drag their feet. If they can sell the players off quick that they need to, then by all means, sell them off quick and get the lads in. I mean, honestly, if I was going to be cheeky, I'd say get Richarlison back. He's not happy at Tottenham. And I know for a fact he plays for the badge at the club. He will definitely put his shift in. And that's what Sean Dyche wants, really. He wants someone who puts a shift in. So get Richarlison back for a start.
It's cracking. Paul Caswell, do you want to come in on that one?
Yeah, I concur with what the other two have said. I would like to see an overhaul. I think the way that the owner and the chairman have handled the media and been found out by trying to gaslight the fans, I think they've realised that the days are numbered and that the relationship with the fans is now gone. So I'm hoping that, as horrible as it was at the time, could be a blessing in disguise the way that they've acted, where it'd be a case of the reverse effects happened and they do go. I would like to see Dyche stay for a few years. As Luke alluded to, probably would be mid-table finishes. We're not going to be fighting for Europe, but I think we'd have a team of battlers as well. And I probably wouldn't be too bothered about how the football is, as long as we're getting them 1-0, 2-0 wins and picking up surprise wins like we did against Brighton and stuff. And a very boring 10th, 12th finish next season with about 3 games to go, knowing that that's where we're going to be, would do me right down to the ground.
I think you're exactly right on that. Under Moyes, we used to complain when we finished 7th and wasn't close enough to that top. If we just got outside Europa League, but when you think about that now, what we do to be in that position and not in these relegations, I do think that going through all this crap has made us realise that we can't expect too much. You can't run before you walk. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
And I think you can't all of a sudden just make yourself a Champions League team. You've got to build it. That's what I believe Dyche will do. He's got something now. He's got a group of players that are working hard for him. Bring another group in that's going to work with them, work hard, and then just keep making it stronger and stronger and stronger until it ends up something really good where you, like West Ham, they haven't been that good this season, but they're in a Europa League final. You don't know where you're going to get just by putting a team out that gives up. I mean, Luke made a good point. You need players that are going to give 100%. That's what you need. Like Richarlison.
I think I'll just add one more thing for you. I think Dyche will get that. I think the biggest thing he's brought yesterday, relegation dogfight, is clear. It was clear when Leicester went 1-0 up. The crowd went a little bit silent, nerves jingling around. But 6 to 8 months ago, we'd have collapsed as a team with the pressure. Whereas we didn't. We kept patient. We kept to the game plan, and it paid off. We wouldn't have done that. And I think the biggest change around that Dyche has had is the mentality, that belief to keep going.
He was shouting loads on the sideline. He had a big go at Onana, and then Onana stepped it up. And I just feel like Lampard just sat sometimes. I don't want to talk about Lampard, but I will just make that point that he put the players out and he just sat back and seen what they've done. And whatever they did, they did. But I feel like Dyche puts a plan out for the players to follow. And if they don't follow that plan, he gives them a boot up the arse. And there is a plan. That's what he does. And he does shout at them if they're not back, if they push up too much. He's on top of every single player throughout the game. And I think Dyche is there you go, Caswell. You got a spot on there. Loving this, ladies. I'm still loving it. Yeah, I think you're absolutely bang on with what you say, Caswell. Everything Everton, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see Pickford go because I think you can't replace him. Because how many times has he saved us, No. Onana, I would cash in on him and invest it into the team. And even Calvert-Lewin, I'd probably, even though I love Calvert-Lewin, but I'd use the money to reinvest because we need a lot of new players, I think. We're not going to be in that position again next season. Can't be. I can't pull up with it.
We need about 7 or 8, and as a lot of people have been saying in the comments at the moment, a couple of strikers, a couple of extra fullbacks, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. I think in terms of wingers, though, I would say the only one we desperately need right now is a right winger and a spare left winger, because Iwobi's been doing well as a right winger, not amazing, but he's doing all right.
Yeah,
McNeil has been an absolute godsend in the second half of the season. Under Dyche, he's become a brand new player. I think someone to cover him just in case he gets injured, because obviously what's probably going to happen is Townsend, he's done and dusted now. He's probably going to retire. And if McNeil gets injured, we need someone who can fall in and perform at probably say about 80% of what he can.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, goals has been our problem, hasn't it, this season? That's clear. That's the clear, massive reason that we were in the situation that we were in. Defence was at its moments, do you know what I mean, of being absolutely, completely awful, but they were actual as a team quite decent as a unit defending in particular games. So just 1 or 2 tweaks at the back, perhaps, and then it's scoring goals, isn't it? Same with everybody, but scoring goals is just a major thing.
Well, we talk about
actually say that on William Hill. When I was on the William Hill show, they did actually mention how I thought about Everton's performance, and I said to them, with all due respect, the team itself isn't bad. It's just we're lacking a finishing piece. So our transition from defense to attack is great, whereas it's just when we put something in the box, no one's there to collect it, and there's no one who has the footballs to just nut up and just whack it into the net. I mean, Decore did it yesterday. Whereas if it would have been, say, Onana or Iwobi or something like that, they would have fumbled around with that ball about 2 or 3 times before hitting it, and it would have went awry. The shot would have went awry. So I think if we do sell Calvert-Lewin, I would look for someone. I would say, I'd be half tempted to go win the championship. I'd say have a look in the championship and see what they've got down there, and say, you know what, if anyone there is a good finisher, let's get them. Let's get them. Bring them into Premier League and say to them, right, this season's your season to shine. You're going to show us your worth. You're going to make yourself known to the Premier League. because you've been in one of the most horrible leagues in the world. Now you're coming into one of the toughest.
Sims
We've
was
all-
doing
we-
it in the Championship before he came back, though, didn't he? Would you give him a chance, Luke?
I'd be more than happy to do some, as long as we're able to provide him
Yeah.
decent enough service, or the service that he can adapt to. Then I'd be more than willing to give him a chance. But for some reason, Sean Dyche just doesn't see him as a viable option. He seems to be very reluctant to put him in, and he's more likely to put Mopai in.
Or do you think he's not exposing a kid to a relegation dogfight?
That could be very well the case. I mean, it would make sense that where we
'Cause
are
it
at the
can
moment with the
have a
relegations.
massive confidence knocking it, can't it, for a 22-year-old lad who's
Yeah,
not
but
getting much service?
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Rooney, when he first came in, he was 16 years old, and we were in a very similar situation where we were facing the battle of relegation. He came in and absolutely shone. He destroyed the Arsenal when they were on their Invincibles run, and he carries on right through the season. He absolutely relished it. But then again, he's 1 in a billion when it comes to football. You can't really compare. You can't compare Sims and him.
I agree with you. I think we should give Sims a shot.
Yeah, I'd be more than willing to give him a shot. I'd say definitely look at getting someone who's like your main striker, but certainly get him as a bit part, just to sort of slowly bleed them in. And then if you want to change the formation, put it into say like a 4-5. A 4-5-2. No,
4-5-1. 3-5.
I like that one. I'd go for that.
4-5-2 is good.
It's a weird one. I'm trying to think of the bloody one we had the other day. You know, we had 2 at the top. We had our midfielders and then 3 at the back.
Tell me about it. I've been doing that all season.
That's a 3-5-2, isn't it?
I like the 4-5-2 better. I think we should have played
Yeah,
that
I do.
yesterday. We might have been 3-0 up at half time.
That's what the Chelsea owner was saying to Thomas Tuchel. Oh yes, why don't you play it 4-4-3?
It's a good. We could do with the extra
That's
striker.
why everyone wants him as manager. That's why.
That's where the 12th man comes in. The actual 12th man.
Well, do you know where we're talking about? Like Pickford's just come out and said he wants to stay with Everton. How true that is, I don't know. But they've just released something saying Pickford said he's going nowhere. He loves Everton, which I love to see that, because I'm sick and tired of footballers not giving a shit, and he does look like he cares. So if he has got that connection, and if it's true, then fantastic. But I wouldn't. We seen Holgate and Davis come out at the end of the game, and they didn't look happy at all. And
oh no, they're gone. They know they're gone.
But this is, you could get money on these players. I'm not saying you're going to get a lot, but if you sell Holgate for say 10 million, and because teams will buy him for that price. Mopay, by the way, I think that team that they're talking about in the Italian league will buy Mopay for 10 million. We got him for 15. I'd just take the 5 loss, 10 million. You can pick up money on, say Holgate goes. Davis, you could still probably get 10 million for Davis. Could be either a cracking player in the Championship abroad, or I think there's a player in Davis without players onto him. He needs time. He's like a Gomez.
Davis would be good in the Bundesliga, you know.
Yeah,
I think
he would.
Mason Holgate would do well in the French. You got, I'd say Tom Davies in the Bundesliga, and probably say Michael Keane would be good in the back rooms. You know, acting as a little towel boy.
There's a lot to clear out. There is a lot to clear out, and I just feel like I want to keep what's good. I want to. If someone comes in with ridiculous money for Onana, then Everton have got to run ourselves like a business. We've got to say, right, like Brighton do. If we're going to get 80 for Onana, let's look how we can improve this squad, and it's well worth it, because that's all it's about, is improving the squad. And if you can get like 3 good players in for Onana money, then it's well worth what Onana means to us. And I think then fair enough, but we've got to make sure we get good money. It makes me so happy, because we could have gone down and these players would be worth nothing. But we're talking about a good situation now where we can actually turn this around. We're not a bad prospect, are we? We've got the new stadium now. It looks like one more good season we'll actually be going into the Premier League. New owners maybe. And then, like we say, there's players to get rid of. I know they said they'll loan Gomez again as well. I heard that today. There's players to get rid of. And it is exciting that we can actually this time probably turn it around. But I just feel that it will never feel like it's going to change completely until that board, like you've all said, when Avasha is gone. Until that board's gone, it's just dragging us down. And I honestly feel like Kenwright's he's got all these roles in Everton where he just gets to run the club. He can go to Finch Farm whenever he wants. He can tell everyone what he's in charge. And I feel like that's got to go, Because it's not about him having a good time. It's about people coming in and pushing this club the right direction. Because finally, we've got rid of all these players. Like, say, Gomez will be gone soon. Mina's gone on that 120k. We got rid of Delph. We got rid of Wilcott. We got rid of Tojan. It's took us ages. It took us like 5 years because we've given 5-year contracts on big wages. But finally, we're in a situation where I feel like, yes, the squad's thin, but I don't mind it being thin because we can actually, we've got a handful of good players. You move on your Holgate, you move on your Davis. I actually like what we've got. And then you bring in strong things this time, not crap, strong things. And I feel like we'll be in a better situation.
Dan, should we see what Jamie thinks?
Go for it. Is he here?
He's here.
Oh, no.
Get him in.
Here he is.
The only thing I do want to point out, though, is why are all those blessed with like really poor hairlines along the bottom? You've got all those perfect ones along the top. What's that about?
I'll swap you around with me if I can to make you feel better. How you feeling, Jamie?
How are you?
I fucking slept for the first time in like 3 nights last night. Honestly, it was unreal. Everything kept me going.
Diarrhea, Jay.
Mate, this morning explosive. I tell you, it was up the wall.
I was going to swap it, Jamie, but I thought if I put you next to Paul, it'll get you all nervous. So I'll keep you below.
I'm already sweating just listening to his voice.
That was agony yesterday, wasn't it, Jamie? We can't do this anymore, can we?
Fozzie, swap up with Homer Simpson. Will balance it out a bit for them.
When he was holding it up, I was like, "Is he taking the piss there?" Because he could see me, and he's like, "Oh,
I didn't think that. That's brilliant."
But no, it was torture watching that game yesterday. Oh my god! I had my missus on the couch with the kids. Every time someone come near me, I was like, "Go away, go away, go away!" And then literally, when Decore hit that shot, I just burst out into tears. I don't even know why. It was relief. It was nothing else. It was just sheer relief. I mean, Mrs. goes to me, she goes, "You didn't even cry when you asked me to marry me." I went, "No, because I was relieved of this."
Me and Paul was cuddling when that goal went in. Jumping up, cuddling. It was emotional. I couldn't believe it. What a strike by Decore as well. He was probably one of the best players up with James Garner. Absolutely awesome strike. You just know it's Everton, isn't it? It was always going to be that we leave it till the very end, like 65th minute. And you knew Leicester would score to make it more stress. It's an Everton thing that we the story, we make it as good as it can be, don't we? Not good for us, but good for the news and all that.
It's never easy going, is it? It's never. I mean, like I said to you, the day would have been fine if we had gone 2-0 up early doors. It was dead boring. We could just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't do that, would we? We wouldn't do that.
No,
that'd be too easy.
Exactly.
That's not football. Football is all about the stress. It basically makes you want to tear your hair out. I mean, hey guys.
Some of us fucking did.
I mean, I think the toupee's sticking on well at the moment. Yeah. Dan, just a quick one, mate. I've got a dart now, but thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. We'll only be another 5 minutes anyway. It's just a cracking get together. It's cracking to get you all on as well because it's just good to see you all. You've made the channel amazing, and I did say that when we stay up, because I always believed it, and I kept you lot all thinking that. Well, Paul, you did as well, and all of us together, we all pushed each other to say we were going to stay up. When a lot of other channels was probably saying that we're down most of the stuff that they published, and I generally believed that we believed it, and together we did it, and it happened because you've got to believe it to achieve it. And it wasn't easy. We could have all been coming on this. We're in the championship, and this is why some people say, "Oh, don't celebrate mediocrity," but I do believe you've got to celebrate staying in the frigging league because we could have been down, and this is a good situation that we stayed in. It's massive. They all wanted us down because of our history, and I'm so happy we've stayed up. But yeah, Luke, thanks for coming on. I'll let you go, but absolutely amazing. Loved having you on. And we'll carry this on for a bit now. And thanks for coming on, mate.
Just some final words now. We're not celebrating our survival. We're celebrating our financial security. That's how you got to think about it.
100%.
Take care, guys. Hope the
See you later, mate.
See you later.
Really.
There we go.
Yeah. I know when we were getting lambasted by everyone for even the running on the pitch and stuff like that. What was the relief like when the final whistle went? Do you know what I mean? It was just an outpouring. That's what it was.
I just dropped to the floor. I did. Then my daughter jumped on me. I was like, yeah. It's just relief. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I felt like a pressure just been lifted.
Yeah.
Pressure just felt all week, and then it's just been lifted. Brilliant.
Well, there was two moments that me and Dan looked at each other. More than one or two moments. The two moments where it was the clearance off the line via Cody / Pickford. Yeah. And because obviously where we were sat as well, we didn't know exactly how close it was to the goal. We just pretty close enough. And then their volley as well. Just looked at each other.
That's what I mean. How many times has Pickford saved us? You know what I mean? You cannot get rid of him. No way.
No.
Best
when
player.
You look back as well, we were sort of talking about key moments over the last 2 months as well. You know, obviously Mina, Wolves, but you talk Pickford save at 2-1 down away against Leicester. You know, the Sims away at Chelsea. You kind of go back to those moments because in the way the scores, the way the table has gone, those draws that we got, the other teams had lost. Do you know what I mean? I think we got 5 more draws than they had defeats or something like that. And it was actually the difference in the end.
Yeah.
Actually the difference.
It was our destiny.
I said to Paul, like, do you know when I did my last episode, I was that nervous that I forgot to ask you all your score predictions. That's we didn't even do score predictions. It got to me that much, and
I was going to say 1-0 to Everton.
Yeah, to Corey goal.
Screamer.
Oh, I should have put a bet on it if you're that good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said
screamer.
I wouldn't have said 1-0. I wanted it to be about 3 or 4. I was hoping it was going to be a non-stress day, but it didn't go that way.
No, never does.
Oh yeah, when Tarks in our half and that. Oh, Mina ended up getting a block in, didn't he? Hey, I tell you what, actually, this one that the Blues said, I don't know if obviously we weren't any of us close enough to Pickford I should have asked Luke, to be honest. I wonder whether Pickford actually had dislocated his finger and popped it back in. Or was he just playing?
It looked like it on the on Sky Sports when I was watching it, because you just see what they've done. They got the stewards to stand around him so no one could see what they were doing. So they sort of created like an arc behind him so the Gladys couldn't see, and you could see the medic going, "What do I do here?" And Pickford went, "Just fucking put it in," and he carried on. So and then at the end, obviously you wouldn't see it because you didn't see the coverage, but he went to the medic afterwards, and the medic done something with his finger where he bent the end, taking the piss out of Pickford, and Pickford was just laughing.
You love that. Yeah. What absolute warrior to do that though, because there was a long time that was a long pause, and we had momentum then, and it felt like they got back up. That didn't help because the fans had just started lifting. Then we started playing well, and that happened. The referee, I don't know what you lot think. We said he was awful because we was fuming. We was like the referees. We was onto him everything because it felt like he was rubbish. Tackles he wasn't giving them when we was getting fouled, and it felt. I said to Paul, I think 10 minutes of those extra time was from the referee time wasting because he was breaking the game down, letting it slow down all the time, and he did my head in. I don't know what it was like watching it.
It felt like 2 halves. It felt like the first half he was letting them get away. They were time wasting in the first half. It felt, and then there were obviously a couple of tackles they threw in. So it felt like the game 2 halves, and the referee was on their side in the first half and let us get away with a few things in the second.
I'm probably going to get shouted at here, but I didn't think he had a bad game.
It worked out well in the end.
What were the penalty shouts like?
I don't think Gray's one was. Although I shouted for it, I don't think Gray's one was. Now that I've looked through it after a win.
Was there another one? I'm just asking about Blues.
The Cody push.
There were 2 penalties. Should have had 2 penalties.
Where when Gray got the header and he saved it, and Cody got the push in the back.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that was a penalty.
That was the second one.
I
thought that was a penalty, and I think I seen was it Robbie Savage or whatever on BT was absolutely berating VAR, saying it was a stonewall penalty, and there was a panel of 5 ex-professionals, all of them said it was a penalty. So
Yeah,
5 professionals on all.
Pushed him away from the ball, hasn't he?
I think the theatrical way he went down for me, I think that's probably why the ref didn't give it. I was like that. I don't know if anyone's seen the video of where we had a different ref at the game, and the geezer's like, "What game are you watching at?" Well, obviously I wasn't as polite as that. My missus made me close the windows because obviously our neighbours are quite nice around here. But yeah, I thought he was so inconsistent, and I've never seen a team where one centre back, that the Argentinian bloke they had, Sensei or whatever his name was, he literally every time Gray was on him, he just put him to the ground, and he just took. I think it was something like seven fouls for him to get booked. It was just a joke.
Yeah,
so inconsistent.
I still can't believe we've done it. I still because everyone was giving. I bet you was all getting it as well. You get the message. I said to Paul, I got a message on the journey on the way down there. Happy relegation day. And my partner kept saying to me driving down, "Are you scared?" I goes, No, but I was getting scared, and I can't believe with the record we got against Bournemouth. I always believed we could do it, but you just wanted to get the job done. It's been the longest build up to that game ever, hasn't it? And we've all been messaging each other, and I can't believe we've done it, and I'm so bloody happy that we've got the business done. I really am.
Definitely. I was going to say actually, I've got the goal paused on the telly, and as I always have, I've got flash scores down here. I was just sort of looking at our defence, and obviously the goals were rubbish. We only scored 3 less goals than Bournemouth in the end, and actually our defence was actually pretty good. If I tell you a team, you got to tell me whether we've got a better defence or worse defence than them. All right. So, what about West Ham?
Better.
They got better by 2 goals. What about Spurs?
I think Spurs defence is shit. I do with Davis and all that. I think that's where they're slack.
Spurs conceded 63.
Yeah.
Ours is 57. So I mean, even Brighton's 53, ours is 57. You wouldn't have thought that actually our defence had done that job. So in the end, because our attack was so shite, the defence has actually come through for us plenty of times.
I think we nailed it earlier on though. We've always had good strikers, haven't we? I mean, we had Yakubu, we had Sahar, we had Lukaku, even Andy Johnson. I used to frigging love. And we've always had a striker that is decent up top, someone that sniffs goals, like a hungry striker that will find goals no matter what. And this season, we've played without one. And I think to stay up without a striker is amazing. But you put a striker in what we've had, I don't think we would have been as bad this season. I think a striker will sort a lot of our problems out.
Blues mentions it there, actually. Nice Mitrovic.
Yeah, he'd be good.
He nearly got sent off again yesterday, didn't he? Against United.
Did he?
Yeah.
Absolute hothead.
I'll take that lad from Coventry, can't pronounce his name, that Swedish lad. I'll take him,
Fiker, isn't it? Or something like that.
I'll definitely take him.
Well, there's a chance now because Coventry obviously didn't come up. Is he going to stay again for another season or make a move? It'd be interesting.
Yeah, he'll come to us. I'll have a word.
Sort it out. We can all have a nice holiday now, though. I feel like we've got our business done. Me and Paul said that we'll drop transfer news later on, but we'll probably have a week or 2 weeks off, and then you lot tell us your ideas of what you want on the channel and stuff, and we'll do some fun stuff on the build up. But I think it's going to be nice to have a break now, isn't it? Because this has been stress. It's been stress.
You say break. It's what 77 days, isn't it, to the new season start? Don't
tell me that. You like your lad to message me for 77 days. 77 days. My DMs are closed.
I don't think you could drain.
You can't do that. Get yourself put back in Twitter jail. You won't have to worry then, will you?
Well, I'm not going to get banned. I'm a very good boy now. I'm not going to get banned. I was looking back at all the stuff though. I mean, you look at Coleman's goal against Leeds. You look at Yerry Mina's goal against Wolves. You look at the Sims goal against the comeback goal. Who did Sims score against late? Chelsea. And then there was another one that we come back to draw. Wasn't it Tottenham as well? We come back to draw late as well. So a lot of people, you all know they grilled me for being positive and saying draws can still get you somewhere. They did in the end because they added up to be 3 points and we only stayed up by 3 points. So it just shows sticking in there like we all did was worth it. I know we're all positive. I know Paul Caswell was positive. I know you was Jamie. You always kept messaging. Sometimes you message me, you poo in your pants, but then other days you message me saying we're gonna do it. We're gonna fucking do it. You're like, if Dan thinks we're gonna do it, we're doing it. I'm not letting him think it and not me. So Dan thinks, and everything Everton jumps in, and he's like, yes, we're gonna do it. And then you message me saying, I'm worried.
We're gonna have their pants down.
I know that's what you do. You message me saying, I'm really nervous, Dan. What do you think's gonna happen? Are we in trouble? And then all of a sudden, I've had a beer. I've messaged Dice. Don't worry. I've sent Dice a message. Don't play keen. This is a good thing now. We can smile about this season. That's why I want to have a little get together now because you lot have made it for me, and we can smile about this season. And it's been good. Although it's been stressful, I think eventually when the stress goes because of what was at stake, we'll all think to ourselves, that was quite fun. And there'll be a lot of stories out of this season, I tell you that. But it's been absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna shut this down on the hour. I'm going to be professional about and I'm going to ask you for your last word. This has been amazing to get you on. By the way, thanks for coming on because it's cracking.
Yeah, it's been good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's amazing to have you on because I love your comments, but to have you on's even better. And you're all famous now. So oh, Jamie made me laugh when he called. Any last words, Paul? What for last words now? End of the season. We've stayed up. We've done it. I mean, I'll just give mine first. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, I took Eliana and she Paul, you know, I was stressed. I ran down the steps to get closer to the players to shout at them so they could hear me. I'm not even joking. I was going nuts. And Eliana could see I was stressed. She's 4, but she was shouting with me because she knew I wanted them to win. And when we scored, she gave me the biggest hug ever. And it made my day because I did think we was going to do it when we went 1-0. And the fans was amazing. And I just looked around at our fans and I just thought, once again, we've got them over the line, and we have. But now, I just think the owner and the board, if they can be as good as the fans, then we'll be a very good football team because our fans are incredible. And that's just my words on what we've got to do and how I feel on that. But Paul, do you want to give your last words, and then we'll go for Everton, and then we'll go Jamie. I can't wait for your last words, and then we'll go Paul Caswell as well. There we go.
Yeah, it's fun. I had the same sort of thing because my daughter came along, and this was obviously her biggest game. And when they showed the board 10 minutes to go, she went white. She went white as a sheet, and she was, you know, her hands were shaking and stuff. And I said, "It's just because you care. It's just because you care." And at the end, when we got through, I said, "You've earned your stripes now." Do you know what I mean? You've gone through what we've all gone through, you know, too many times. So it shows that you care about it, and we all care about it. So we need to recharge. We need a rest.
Yes.
Recharge and not get hung up on in the nose and this rumor and that rumor, and just come back a little bit fresher, a little bit, well, say more positive as we always are, and we go again in 77 days.
Don't keep saying that. You're making me scared. I've got to do a lot of walking across the beaches to get myself back to myself after that. Bloody hell. Everything Everton, what's your last words, mate? Love it.
Well, this message to Everton, no more relegation battles. I can't take it. I can't take another one. Next season, mid-table, please. That'll do me. And just a shout out for Tarky yesterday, doing Dominic Solanke. Run, boy, run. Yeah. Up the guys, up the toffees.
Love it, absolutely. Talkie, I was loving it with him as well. Every time he put that tag, Talkie, I was like, Talkie. I was loving it. Me and Paul lost a voice. I slept at Paul's last night, and we both had like butch voices speak to each other. What are you thinking of the game after our voices?
You sounded like Sean. You sounded like Sean Dykes.
Yeah, we should have wrote a song because our voices was proper busker at the end. We should have wrote a song that night about staying up. It was funny that we lost the voices. Jamie, on to you, mate. Last words.
Last words. Two things really. First thing, I'll be quite sentimental about it. You've got to look at Sean Dyche. Yes, the players got us over the line. Yes, the fans got us over the line. When he took over, we were 15 points. He took 21 points. Those 21 points, double that if he'd had a full season with us, 42 points, mid-table side wouldn't have gone through this. If we'd have stuck with Frank Lampard, as much as I like Frank Lampard as a player, as a person, he's not the manager that we all thought and hoped he would be. Double 15 points, that's 30. We'd have been gone. We wouldn't have even had, last game of the season chance. And all respect to Sean Dyche because the board sold him down the river, sold Anthony Gordon on him, went, deal with it your own way, but that's what you got to play with. Didn't bring anybody in, didn't have a chance. You've done the right thing with Calvert-Lewin. You tried to buy this time as much as possible, get him as fully fit and try to get him back for those last 6 games. You've seen what he's done, and you've seen the effect when he come back in. Fair enough, didn't work out, got injured again, but the games that he played in, he massively affected those games. So all credit to Sean Dyche, Ian Wone, the rest of the backroom staff that he's brought in. They deserve that bonus that they're getting because they've done it with absolutely no help from anyone but the fans. So big shout out to Sean Dyche. I will stupidly make a bet after I've had the bevy with everything. I will be getting a Sean Dyche tattoo. At some point, I will get some money together and I will be getting one.
Get it videoed.
I will be getting one, and obviously you will be the first one to see it. And the second shout out is to both yourself, Dan, and you, Paul. You do this of your own free will. All right, calm down now, calm down. Yeah, credit to both of you two because you both do this of your own free will, off your own back. Me and everything were like two absolute big kids yesterday. He was going, yeah, we're going to do them. An hour later, he goes, I'm too pissed. I'm worried I'm shitting myself. And we were just sending the shit ourselves gifts for about an hour to each other while the game was on. But no, that's my second shout out is to you both. I, along with all the other people who comment and those here now, we appreciate everything you do. It's boss. That's why we all come back all the time. And, everybody like and subscribe. Let's get it bigger. Let's get it bigger. Well, that's it from me. Up the fucking trophy.
He's a good speaker, Jamie, isn't he? He's been keeping that undercover. He's a very good words there. Very good speaker then, honestly, even about the Dyche stuff as well. Well spoken there. Paul Caswell, last one. What you got to say? Last words. Love this.
It's been an exhausting 2 years. I'm actually looking forward to next season. I do need a few weeks off from football, but I am looking forward to next season. I think under Dyche, I'm not saying we're going to be challenging for Europe, but boarding mid-table finish is where we'll be. I think he understands the heart of Everton and what the fans want to see. And once we buy into it, there's no better ground in the country, and the fans are behind him. I also want to reiterate what Jamie said, like going into work and in the office and stuff like that, and on Twitter, been a lot of toxicity, and even in the office trying to convince people that we were going to stay up. Oh, it's been hard work. This has really been a good space to get people's hopes up. So, really good. And I just wanted to pass on my words of thanks to yourself, Paul, and Dan, and everyone on here, because we've all been similar, and even when we've had different opinions, it's still been discussed and appreciated and thought about as well, as opposed to just barrage of abuse to everyone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to you starting again next year.
That's a bit. I feel more emotional than yesterday. A bit deep, that is. But thanks so much. Honestly, it makes me feel good in the channel to know it's done that for you lot. I mean, honestly, cracking words there. It's good, and the channel's going to grow, and it's glad we've all been on this journey together. And you say I've helped you, but I tell you something, you lot have helped me in the comments, and I wanted to get you on to show you that I appreciate that. Honestly, me and Paul said we've got to get you on because the channel wouldn't be the same without you. And honestly, sometimes even when I've put it on that I'm confident. I've just done it, and you lot have made me confident as well. You've made me feel like I've got to be confident for you, and we've just built each other up to be something to stay up, and we've done it all together. And the blue cast is amazing, and we'll keep doing it, and it'll grow. And can't wait to see what we're going to be like next season. Hopefully, some miracle happens, and we're like pushing for a Europa League. Imagine us. They say if we're like this in a relegation battle, imagine what we'd be like if we actually won something. So we stick together and go that direction.
Why not?
Why not, eh? We'll do it. Thanks, everyone, for coming on, everyone. I'm going to drop the banner now, but absolutely amazing. I'm going to just go to sleep with a smile on my face that you've all come on tonight. We've done it. We stayed up, and a lot said we wouldn't. A lot said we wouldn't, and a lot said we're down. And I got shit saying, "Oh, where's the goals going to come from?" Well, they come from Decore, they come from McNeil, and they come from some of our defenders. And we managed to stay up. And yes, damn, the Unicorn Man was right, and you miserable gits was wrong. And Everton stayed up. Freaking, we did it. The blue paint was worth it. The Unicorn was worth it, but I'm not doing any of that next season. It's going to be chilled and we can all be relaxed. But if I have to,
we will see down.
We'll remind you of this in 3
well,
months.
if we're competing for trophies, I'll get a Unicorn out. Don't worry, I'll be holding the trophy up with it. Don't worry, we'll do it. But yeah, honestly, thanks everyone, and I'll drop the banner now. Absolutely amazing. Jamie, I did get the one across the bottom. I did forget it, but then I got it on nice and early. But luckily, I've got you to remind me on that one. But yeah, thanks everyone. This has been amazing. We've stayed up. We'll be back on talking about transfers and getting ready for next season. So 72 days, you've scared me with that one. But yeah, we're Everton. We can't get enough of it. We will always be back. The blue cast is amazing. See you later, everyone. See you later.
Up the fucking toffees.
Thanks, boys.